Hello. Something crossed my mind last night. It was, it's December. And 50 years ago this month, it'll be I think the 20th of this month, winter solstice. Winter solstice. The sun goes down to its lowest point, and it stays at its lowest point for 3 days. Also, the Forrest Fenn, he was shot down over Laos 50 years ago on December 20th. That'll be the 50th anniversary of being shot down. And I thought about this beard. It's going to go after Christmas. But it's fun when you get the beard off because you can play with it and do the sideburns but anyhow, it gave I realize that it's the 50th anniversary of Forrest Fenn being shot down in Laos coming up here on December 20th, and I sent him an email about how he. What I say in the email? Let's get it exact. Coming up on your 50th anniversary of being shot down over Laos, I think of Jimmy Stewart and how the world would be different without Forrest Fenn. Since then, there would be no gypsies, no de poop, no cow lasers, no fanatic, and no femboree, no bottle of brandy, and no treasure hunt. The guys who rescued you were angels sent by those who you would mold and inspire in the future. Thank you, Zeus, for saving Forrest Fenn. And he just replied a simple thank you. If, I'm not going to show you. If you don't believe me, tough cookies. Yeah, 50 years. Who wouldn't be around? Whose life has he inspired over the last 50 years? And I mean, that's the gallery, everything. The stuff he sold is hanging in homes or galleries, around the world. And you won out. You were sleeping. I start a video. He wants out. So you got to hold on one second here while I let Jack out. He's funny. He comes up. He's trying to talk. He wants to talk. Maybe one day he will. So yeah, whose life's been inspired by Forrest Fenn since then, and he even has made comments about that. It's kind of like he's changed lives of thousands of people, literally. People getting involved in the treasure hunt. He's affected the lives of people in Germany, England, India, even. But it's been 50 years since he was shot down and rescued in Laos, and the funny coincidence is that the biblically they say the sun dies and is risen 3 days later. I think he was there 1 or 2 nights out there in the jungle. So he'd been shot down on the winter solstice and rose again, just like the sun does at the end of winter solstice, it starts rising on, going further north on the horizon. Jelly bean. I'm seeing got an appointment with a dentist next week, so I can get my teeth fixed up. So he's inspired. You know, it's just like Jimmy Stewart in that Christmas movie. What would the world be like without been like if Forrest Fenn didn't make it out of that jungle that day? This didn't get long. I hadn't had a beard this long before. I just cut them off before they get that far. But it's getting close to Christmas. It's for the grandkids. His grandkids, shave it off. Yeah, Forrest. I don't know. No, nobody else had mentioned that, but you know, it realized December 20th, 1968, 50th anniversary of him being shot down is approaching quickly. It's like in 8 days. And I was going to do a video about that on that day, but the email I got, I already leaked that out. So you know, I figure I'll do the video so that somebody else doesn't go in and pretend that they that they realize, oh, it's 50 years. No, they realize it's 50 years because Bill Gorman reminded them. 50 years of Forrest Fenn influencing people and stuff like that. We got 3 people. There were 4. Wonder who left. Maybe somebody didn't have a signal. What else can I talk about there? That's about it, you know. It's his 50th anniversary of being shot down. Yeah, you wonder the guys who rescued him. I think he said some are still around, but not many of them are. They're, you know, dropping fast. Also, I had a friend. I don't know if I mentioned it yesterday. This friend of mine he said, "Oh, I'm turning 80 next year." So I said, perfect person to ask. How far can you hike? Could you hike 4 miles in and 4 miles out? Sure I can, but not as fast as you can. It might take me a little longer. So there you go, you know. And any man, if you tell him, oh, you couldn't do that, they'll go do it just to prove you wrong. Any man with any self, I don't know. I'm tired. I woke up. I ain't ate breakfast yet. It's 11. It's noon. I ain't even got my tea started. I don't think I got out of bed till 10 o'clock today. So, yeah, I just make this a short video because I don't know what I gotta do. I'm trying to get things in order. I'm trying to get my get a different piece of land that's for sale by the same people I'm paying for mine, and it's real simple to transfer my equity from this piece of land over to another one when you're purchasing from the same organization, you know. So I'm going to try and get that other piece of land and then try and get a home loan to have it put in, which is another huge obstacle, you know, getting past the banks when the banks are about to totally fail. That's a good one there. So you get your home loan from the bank, and then they fail and close. And they sell your loan to somebody else, and you tell somebody else, "Hey, man, I don't have a deal with you. You're gonna have to renegotiate," and you cut it in half. Why not? But I went and looked at it, and it's got a high spot where you get a view all the way around, and it's beautiful there. It's just down. It's 24 miles from the New Mexico border. Yeah, I do. I live in my RV. That's my tiny home. I'm going to get I'm just getting a single wide, 2 bedroom, 2 bath. It's a nice long one, and it's beautiful inside. I mean, it's like when I'm sitting out here in my RV and looking at the computer and all, it's a different world. And I go outside, and it's like, wow, there's nobody for miles. And I found these used telephone poles that they discarded on the side of the tracks, And I know they're used and discarded because one of them's just rotten to hell, and they still got attachments, pieces on them and stuff that, they didn't take off it when they took the pole down and put up another one. So there's my knife. It's my little what we call it? Pueblo knife, as Forrest calls it. But and I got these elephants. I can show you these elephants. Oh, there we go. Oop. And this is on, I think it's a molded injection, but they say it's buffalo bone. But you see the mammoths? And they're mammoths because you got little ears. And it was sold as a mammoth on buffalo bone. You see the mammoth head there. You see, that's where there's 3 mammoths on there. And you need a little imagination to see stuff that was even intentionally made that way. I'm not going to tell you what land company I'm dealing with. I'm not going to tell anybody what land company it is because somebody wants to know so that they can go steal that piece of land and keep me from getting it. I ain't telling anybody. Jeez. Yeah. Yeah, it's private information there, because I've found that anytime I tell somebody about a great deal, they go in and steal it out from under me. Yeah. After I got it nailed down, I can tell you, but I'm not going to tell anybody because I don't want that to go away. There isn't another option, and so, that's my own my deal. But I like pay $112 a month for the 5 acres I'm on. The other property I think is $250 a month because it's more acres and it has power. So, but I'll get that property included in the loan for the home and all that. Everything will be in one payment. I won't have a land payment and a house payment. It'd just be a mortgage for the whole property. Yeah, yeah. When somebody's trying to make a real estate deal, don't be nosy about who they're dealing with. You know when so oh who's your realtor? It's like none of your fucking business. Yeah. Uh-huh. But I do know a realtor in Colorado that she getting a realtor license. Came from Florida, had a real estate license in Florida and came up here. So I'll have a friend soon in real estate, but that might be too late for the property I'm getting. I got to go right through the. But I got to get up down payment money and stuff, and it's all like lots too much money. My Social Security isn't enough for $100,000, but it's enough for an $80,000 loan. Oh, good to have water. Yeah, the water's real shallow there. Like the water here is 60 feet. It's probably 40 feet over there. Because I say that because there's like hills around it that you'd think trap underground water in that area a little higher. Yeah, it'll have water, electric, and 12 acres. I could have a little solar farm there and feed power. You got to hook up to you can't have the loan unless you're on the grid. Well, I can take advantage of that because I can be on the grid and I can have a solar farm there and feed power back to them and they pay me. you know, so that you can use that to your advantage. I gotta trim my beard, I guess. Some of it's sticking out. You just gotta get it wet down. Because out here, you only get a shower every 3 days or so because the water's limited. Somebody told me where there's a artesian well near here. So I know I've got to go find that artesian well yet. It was a girl at the Tractor Supply to get my propane. And when I got there was a girl putting her bottles in her trunk and stuff. And I backed up and got my bottle out and put it in it. And I went in the store and they filled my bottle. I came back out and the girl was still there climbing all over in her car. And talked to me, I talked to her and told her about the Mammoth temples and stuff. And she told me where the water was and all. She didn't say nothing to me then, but I gave her one of my cards, for my Mammoth temple, for what I found, because we're kind of neighbors, and she called me up and asked me if I had seen her car keys. It's like I was walking by, I didn't even bend over, nothing. I didn't see any keys. I don't know where your car keys are. Is that what you were looking for in your car? And oh yeah, yep, that's what she was looking for in her car. Whatever happened to the flip side? That was such a useless channel and only got worse. We see when Sean would sit at the bar like he was king shit. Well, Sean wasn't really, Sean was trying to get along, The call was being a shithead. So, yeah, Sean's okay. The call, he dominates and he runs it like he knows everything, and he's the one that can tell you you're full of shit and all. I mean, I flush better turds down the toilet than they poop. I'd rather watch a show with actual information and imagination like yours. Thanks, John. Yeah. Get you some wind turbines. I have a wind turbine here, but uh, I got back here Monday or Sunday. This is Wednesday. There hadn't been enough wind since then to spin it. But usually here we get some pretty good wind in the middle of the valley. No, my new place is further from my search area. It's closer to Taos. I think that's like, oh, well, it's 23 miles from the New Mexico border, directly north of Taos. So, it's not too far. Oh, I'm waiting for the orthopedic. I got bone spurs in my shoulders. Yeah, for anybody who's joined recently, I was mentioning how the Forrest was shot down December 20th, 1968, and this is the 50th anniversary this year of him being shot down and rescued. And if he wasn't rescued, how would here's for the other YouTubers. Okay, other YouTubers, do a video on how Forrest Fenn has changed your life and what you would be doing if he hadn't been rescued. What would you be doing now if he hadn't been rescued? And what are you doing now different from what you would have been doing if he hadn't been rescued and the chase never happened, It's like the Jimmy Stewart Christmas thing, This is what this town would be like without you around thing. Because, it's been 50 years since Forrest was shot down and rescued in Laos. No, I'm not a poem purist. I use your opinion on the postmarks, the drawing. The drawings are important because some of those drawings are depicted all over these canyon walls. There's people holding tombstones, and there's his fighter jet on one canyon wall, double omegas, and the fighter jet's right next to right there next to the double omegas, and there's somebody holding the tombstone right next to the pile of airplanes that Forrest has crashed. They're in nature here too. Everything's already been written. Every story that you've heard that before, that it's already written. It's written all over the mountain. It's almost like a gift or something from up there, that I'm able to see and interpret these ancient stories from the rocks. And if you look up Outside the Box TV on YouTube, that channel, he just did 3 videos on my discovery and his opinion, and people see what I see. Other people see the same thing I see. So it's not just my imagination. Some people are totally incapable of seeing it. Totally incapable. They don't even try. They don't understand what Marvel gaze is. They're doing Marvel glance. It's not a Marvel glance. It's a Marvel gaze. You stare at it. It's like the magic eye. You put it up, you move it out. And you zoom in, zoom out, and sometimes you see more in the thumbnail than you do when you open the full picture up, because the shapes are concentrated. The erosion is concentrated, so that you have more of the original shape and stuff. And what was this? Drawings are very significant, especially the ones in Polish story didn't contain artwork. Yeah, the Biddy's boy's right up there on the side of the hill, and the other boy like this, he's right next to him, and then the father and son things over by the super omegas. What I call it super omegas, because alpha, there's an alpha rock formation, and then there's all kinds of arches, and each of the arches have an image in them, portrayed in them, and it's like this canyon wall. They went and put those glued those rocks in there with whatever mortar they had. They had to have. It's just like the legs of Thoth. They were placed. Those blocks were placed in there. It wasn't something they carved out of the mountain. They built it. They constructed it. They were architects. They were landscape architects. Boom. You know, I felt like an architect. Well, what's an architect do? He puts a little asterisk next to, a little circle or an octagon or something with a number in it pointing to an item. Heavy loads. So he's got his map and he's saying, this is heavy loads, this is water high, this is canyon down, this is, this is where warm waters halt. I do design things, but they're more like Tesla stuff, and I was a engineer who designed fiber optic networks, but before that I designed microwave systems that go from like Chicago to Denver. I did a portion from Des Moines to Denver of the Chicago to Denver route. And from Des Moines, Iowa to Denver, Colorado took 27 microwave towers, because you can only go like 20, 25 miles each hop. And so my job was, to pick the places to put the towers and tell them how high to make the towers, where to put the antennas on the towers and all that, so that they would have a good signal between the two towers without interfering with other systems. Because you're not only designing yours, you're designing yours so that you don't interfere with theirs, So what I did was I plotted all the other systems with the same frequency. I plotted them on my map and say their line's going like this, and my path will cross theirs like that, so that it's theirs going to the and we won't interfere with each other. And I had bing bing bing. It was I knew what the parameters were. I put the and Sprint had bought all the real estate, and they had the towers in the warehouse, and then they said, well, we're canceling all microwave projects and laying off all the microwave people because we're going fiber optic. It's like, wait a minute, I can do fiber optic too. Why don't you give me that opportunity? No, they laid off. There was 250 people in our office, and after the layoff, there was 25. So 225 people got laid off, and that was it for working for Sprint. And it's like the people they kept, I was like, oh my God, worst one. There's one guy, this one guy was an engineer that I had to train how to read a topo map. I try and teach him, how do you know which way's uphill? How do you know what way's down? Well, it goes downhill to the rivers, to the streams and creeks, and the top of the hill is just a circle. Usually, it's going uphill, but usually you don't have circles at the bottom because you have a lake. The lake's the bottom, the little circle after all the lines is the top. It's the top of the guy. So anyhow, this engineer that they kept, and they transferred him out to California to their office there, because we were working in Dallas. And anyhow, I caught up with him a few years after that, and I go to the place, and he goes, "Look at this. I went in to work at night, and I got this computer." It's like, freaking, they kept the fucking thief. Jeez, how are you still working for the company? You'd think they had a security camera, would have seen him going in there and getting that computer and taking it. But this was like, 1987, so a computer, the computers were huge then, and and they weren't anywhere near what they are today. I mean, back then you had a 10 megabyte hard drive. 10 megabyte hard drive was big. Well, I went and what did I do? I already did that. I was an electrician, so yeah, I went to work as an electrician for a while until I got a job. Well, I moved to Denver, and then I got a job designing fiber optic networks for Outside Plant Engineering, OSP, company that does outside plant engineering. And I worked for them in Denver, and then I worked for them again out in California. And I mean, I had to go down to work on the system from San Diego to Jacksonville fiber optic line. They run a fiber and it's buried most all the way, and goes through tunnels and train tunnels and cross bridges under rivers and but each mile of the system from San Diego to Jacksonville, or Jacksonville to San Diego, whatever, each mile of the system took five drawings. And you figure 5 times 3,000. So I had 15,000 drawings. And the other engineers I worked with didn't give a shit if they were in order, and I got them all in order. And my boss still giving me shit, and he takes a bunch and just disorganizes the whole thing. And it's like, God, they got some idiots working here. And I was laid off because that guy didn't like the shirt I wore or something, I had some shirt with like cow skulls. It was like a Southwestern looking shirt. Don't wear that again. It's like, my God, you need that guy needs a rope on his neck, man. If somebody's shirt's gonna piss you off, you don't tell people what to do. I try not to tell people what to do. Try not to, I don't push my opinion on anybody, I'll share my opinion, but I'm not pushing it on you. I laugh when people are way off base. I'm looking at my little meteorite rock. That is somewhat, you can see light coming through it a little bit. But yeah, I worked for that. I designed microwave systems for OSP and stuff. And then I was out of work again, of course, after that guy, idiot laid me off, canned me for my shirt. So I found a job in Louisiana working for oceaneering as an engineer and electronics technician for their ROVs that they make. Yeah, I found this on my property. It's a neat little meteorite, but and I think it's some kind of crystal or something that got burned up because it's transparent. Actually, it's very dark, but it's transparent. Um, and I don't think crystals grow with that black vitrification all over it. No, it's not coal. It's not coal's not transparent. Coal is not transparent. You can't put light through coal. This is a fried crystal from a meteor from some other planet. The Earth isn't the only planet with crystals, and meteorites can be rock or iron. Yeah, I worked on their Millennium ROV, and I designed the recovery mechanism. It says they have the thing comes up and they need to lock it onto something so it doesn't swing around, and there was a mechanical thing, and it come up and locked in, and the things closed around it, and it was locked in solid so it wouldn't swing. And because you're on a boat and his boat's going like this, and you can't have the ROV going, so we needed something to stabilize it when it come up and lock into the apparatus and then pulls it onto the boat. It was like a two-arm thing, with a clip thing. And I did drawings there for CAD drawings of the cable assemblies and stuff like that. But the only mechanical thing I designed there was that. But before that, I was in California working for a company called Tella, and I was a cellular systems engineer. And we designed, we made muxes that would combine. You have 5, 6, 8, 12 cellular channels, and they got to put all those different signals onto one antenna, and so you got 8 different box. Well, box had 6 cavities or 8 cavities, could handle 8 frequencies or 6 or 4, whatever they ordered, and what it does is all these different radios got their cables coming into it, and then it's one cable out, so all these frequencies go in there, and it puts them out onto a single cable up to the antenna. And what they had was the box had these little cavity. Each one had a square rectangular long box that mounted onto a plate, but there were fans on the inside of the plate, and the thing you had to take the cavity off, put the fans on the plate, and if the fan went out, it was a major problem because you had to take the system down to change a fan. And I changed it where the cavity's up against the plate, and there's just a hole there, and I made another plate with 8 fans on it that mounted up to the face of that on the other side of the, so it made the thing prettier and everything, and it made it easier. They could change a fan without turning it off then, You know, that was the big difference. My design made maintenance easier, and didn't take the system down to change a simple fan, basically. 40 minutes. Forrest, yeah. Back to recap, the subject is, it's 50 years since Forrest was shot down in Laos, coming up December 20th. So I've asked other YouTubers to make a video telling us how Forrest Fenn's treasure hunt has changed your life, and what your life would be like now if Forrest Fenn didn't come out of that jungle. Then how much different would your life be without Forrest Fenn in it? So I think that's a great subject for Forrest Fenn videos. Experience have been fun. Cat designer. Why don't you do that kind of stuff anymore? Retire. Oh, my spine is a nightmare. I got both. I need surgery on both shoulders, both ankles. You know. My left ankle, I had a lateral fracture on it. 89, and I think something. They go into they put screws in your bone and drill holes in it, and I had 6 screws in my bone and stuff. And now my blood tests are saying I got some kind of bone marrow infection, and it could have gotten in there from that surgery. I don't know. But I had surgery on my other ankle where they took a tendon and that goes from to about the bottom of my calf up to near my little toe. They took a half of a tendon out there. They took tendon out and they sliced it down the middle and put left half of it there, and took the other half, attached it to the bottom of my tibia, and then to my heel, and another end of it down to the bottom of my foot there, so that my ankle wouldn't turn fold under, because I have my ankles got like my feet could turn 90 degrees from my leg in. Your feet are like this. I can turn mine up like that, but yeah. But that right one I can't do anymore because they fixed that one. The left one they haven't done. Well, that's a fibula. That's a fibula on that side. Yeah. So I've had both of my fibulas drilled into. Now I hear the wind generator. It's going now because I mentioned that earlier that there hadn't been any wind for 3 days. Now it's turning. I hear it up there. 10-mile-an-hour wind. Yeah, 50th anniversary. It's like the Jimmy Stewart movie. It's a Wonderful Life. They do a video on what would your life be like without Forrest Fenn's treasure hunt. There would have been no bottle of brandy, no de poop. I would have never encountered that poop head. I still call him a poop head, and because he hasn't apologized for the vicious things he said about me, and definitely not don't harm children and stuff. They poop, if anything, is the cowboy that punched Forrest in the face. As far as I see, That black hat just says, I'm an asshole. Forrest was exactly right. I'm an ornery asshole. Cowboy. Yeah, I just shared a picture of when I was driving down the road, and there was a guy off the, there's wilderness along the road. The guy's riding his horse with two other horses, pack horses behind him, and got a picture of that with Jack looking out the window, and I called that too far to walk. So he's riding a horse. That's something. Maybe if Forrest had a horse, I don't think he had a horse, but if he did, he could. Boy, this treasure hunt would go on for centuries. If he had a horse and hit it, no chance of finding it. I mean, I'm doing that right now. If Forrest hadn't, then I'd probably be down in Arizona right now at the RV gathering down there. And I might not make it there because I got a dentist appointment next week. And I'm sure they're going to have an appointment for me, appointments in January, February. So I'm looking at lots of propane again and staying warm and roughing it here in the weather. But I'm going to get my teeth all fixed up. One thing, if you're somebody who can't afford the dentist and has nothing, I've run out of options. I can't get that hole in my tooth filled, You get this stuff. And one box of this is like $14. Yep. Yeah. Poop head. But, it's $15. And I mean, there are several teeth I won't have to pay the dentist for that were simple to get to, I got diamond files. You get, and these here, I got patches up there. That it's like, after I was done, I go, that looks just like the dentist would have done it. So you can be your own dentist. Look at the dentist. He's somebody that does stuff with his hand. He has an art, a craft. If you learn to be that kind of artist, you can do it yourself. All you got to do is get the right materials and have a good convex mirror or something so you can see good, and lots of light. And why go pay a dentist $400 to put a filling in when you can pay $14 and do your own filling? Awfully quiet. Forrest isn't going to answer questions. He'll say what he wants, but if you tell me what you can ask him to. The guy contacted me yesterday, wanted me to tell Forrest to reply to him, and he's an older guy. He says he's older than me. But he's not as old as Forrest. And I said, I can't tell Forrest to contact you. I can ask Forrest to contact you. So let's see, where's his I don't know if I should see. That was Aaron George. So Forrest, I don't know. You know, it's up to you if you want to reply to Aaron George or not, but he'd like a reply. That's all I can do. That's all I can do for Aaron. I can't. No. It's like nobody pulls my puppet strings, and I don't think Forrest lets anybody pull his puppet strings. I like the picture of him with Preston, Doug Preston at lunch and all. And I think Doug Preston's, you know, the one theory I have, if it's a contest and all that, and you got to go to the Denver Museum, that the treasure is probably in Doug Preston's garage and in the trunk of the Plymouth. And after Forrest dies, Doug will bring the car to the parking lot of the Denver Museum of History, and the winner will go collect the car there at the parking lot. That's why Forrest says when you go to get the chest, leave your friend in the car, because they're going to drive your car back. You're going to drive the Plymouth with the with the treasure in the trunk. And it would take the most scenic route home. It was researching the brown bronze near outside Denver. And then, let me see if I can show you this. Well, I can get that on the screen. Recent. ISIS. Oh, there it is. Okay. Yeah, I got it on my screen. I'll show you something here that I found. As I had it in the book here, too. What you want to look at is these brown lines, these frames, the wood. What are pictures in? Wood frames, right? So the brown line represents the frames. And you see, and it comes here. Why is it jogging around and back up and over? And this line here is down lower than these lines. Why is it like that? Yeah, look at these lines and think of an architect. Think of an architect, right? If you're an architect, I got so much crap on my desk. If you're the architect, there's those lines. Look at that. That line, that's the Denver Museum of Nature and Science. And look at see in the front, that sticking out, the dark cover sticking out there. It's and the other thing about the Denver Museum here, let me drag it over, get my hand tool. The other thing is, this is a mammoth. Look at the legs. These are the legs, the belly hanging down. This is the head, and this is the trunk curled here. It's a mammoth. And I, of course, want to know what's inside, because you maybe clues related to the treasure. And here are the floors. And I think the first floor is the one, the gems and minerals. He says, Coors, gems and minerals. I'm not touching anything on the phone. Come on. Well, don't beep at me. Freaking phone. Oh, it's not my phone. It's my weather station. I've got my elbow on. So yeah, gems and minerals, the gold. But because I'm looking at that section, because he says me in the middle. He's in the middle there. Me in the middle. Water hole. Highway hole. Oh. Yeah. Far. I did see a water hole cover over a water hole, water valve or something yesterday. He's in the middle. Bum, bum, bum. Me in the middle. And that's the part of the museum where the gems and minerals are. The upper floors above that part were bird Americas and North American wildlife, edge of the wild. So that first floor of the museum, the gems and minerals, and I believe he probably has some in. He maybe has some in there. So, and he says that if you brought something to a museum, they'd put it in a crate and put it in the basement. The maps for the Denver I'm sure it has a basement. Any museum would have the basement where they store the, but it might not be really a basement, because I see a lot of areas on their floor plan that are nothing there, that are probably offices and storage space and stuff like that. Edge of the wilderness sounds catchy. Yeah, edge of the wilderness. Yeah. North American wildlife. Edge of the wild. South Pacific Islands. It gets close. It's not Vietnam, no. Australia. Bears and small sea animals. Expedition health. Expedition health. Okay, some health. Oh. Pretty soon they're going to have a transgender museum, you know. Freak show. Okay. So yeah, make your videos of how you're, even if you're not a current YouTuber, maybe join the party, make a video, tell us how your life has changed because of Forrest Fenn. What would you be doing if Forrest Fenn's treasure hunt didn't come into your life? Or if Forrest Fenn didn't make it out of the jungle 50 years ago? Found you live after a very long time. Yeah, well, it's not very hard. It's my name, but I noticed when I search on, I had a friend yesterday. I got a friend request from a friend who's kind of famous, but doesn't have, he has a uncommon name. And so when you get a friend request, when somebody it's the same name, it's my friend, and it only has one of them silhouette things, this is probably a bot or somebody who hijacked his account. And so I reported it to Facebook and reported it to my friend, and he notified all his other friends there's somebody else coming out, you know. I probably meant, you know, Gary Zaboli. Yeah. And look up Gary Zaboli and what's that magazine? True West. Gary Zaboli, True West. And then on the Google, click on images and you'll find his drawings. He's an artist and a writer. He's wrote several books. He wrote a book on the Alamo and a book about my ancestor's brother, Major Robert Rogers, the Rogers Rangers, the guy who gave Lewis and Clark the instructions to find the Pacific Ocean. And my family named Oregon. My family wrote the instructions for Lewis and Clark. You know, that's nice to know. What else? What else? Anybody say anything? Hello. Summit. Edge of the wilderness. Other images in the thrill of the chase. The fire is in the middle. Forest fire. Forest is the blaze. Original forest. I think of the blaze is where Moses is at the burning bush. That's the other thing I wanted to... Where's that book? But there's Gary's Woolley book, since I am not far off talking about that. My dust jacket's a little... this is a Gary Zaboli book, and that's, you know... I'm not sure if that's his art. Why wouldn't he put his own art on the cover? J.L.G. Ferris drew that. But this book is double columns, and it's 500 pages. 516. Oh, look, he's got some blank pages, and they're numbered in the back. So you can put your notes in there, I guess. This was the Robert Rogers statue that I went to the unveiling in 2005. But you see how much information... I mean, this guy, you know, Gary Zaboli, he's detailed. This is the Robert Rogers Bible, basically. Anything about Robert Rogers is in there. And he's my 5th great granduncle. I'm proud of him. He was known as Wabi Matahundo. I wonder why they changed it from Arizona to Colorado for the place his car is at. Does Arizona location match anything? Makes me wonder all of a sudden. That block looks like my portable camp table. What block? I have a portable camp table. I gave it to my son when he got out of the Army, and had his whole family in a economy stay place, you know. So my grandkids would sit at that little picnic table for their meals. That book looks like my portable camp table. It's a big book. It's awesome. It was $80. His books aren't. I think his book on the Alamo. His book on the Alamo is An Altar for Their Sons, is the name of the book. Let me see. Oop. Wow. You can't find that book by looking for the name of it. Wow, I'm amazed. Google will not. I mean, I put in his name and the title of the book, and not in the Google search. That's crazy. You know, you put the exact name. I'm going to put quotes on them. Damn thing. Yep, it ain't coming up. That's crazy. I go straight to Amazon and find it. Because it's on there. Google is. I mean, if you ain't kissing Hillary Clinton's ass, Google and Facebook and all, they'll treat you like shit. Just look for his name. There it is. I spelled it right and everything. And it wouldn't find it. But it's... Oh, come on. Kindle Unlimited. Read this title for free and explore 1 million titles. I'm going to send that to my buddy. Because if he knew that Amazon was letting people read his book for free, it would not be on Amazon. That's why, I put my books on Kindle. Oh, you get this much. You get $7 for each one we sell. They're giving it away for free. They're not giving me the $7 they're supposed to, Frickin' crooked. I need a lawyer. I need a lawyer. So does my friend Gary, because they're letting people read his $90 book for free. That's upsetting. Boom. There you go, Gary. Look what Amazon's doing with your stuff. Read this book for free. Maybe one reason Forrest Fenn doesn't have it on Kindle or anything. And it's on Kindle. I wonder if Gary put it on. I don't think Gary put it on Kindle. He didn't put it on Kindle for them to peddle for free. For their advertisers. It's what it's for. It's for their advertisers. It's not for the authors. Okay. Well, I'm about done. I'm getting off subject. Do your videos on how Forrest Fenn's treasure hunt has changed your life and what you'd be doing if there wasn't a treasure hunt. Have a good day. Thanks for watching. Go see my videos on Out of the Box TV. Alex Ansary. He'll tell you I'm not full of it. He sees the stuff. Other people around the area and other people say, yeah, I know about that formation, but they don't know about there's thousands of them. It's just all over. They're easy for me to find too. Very easy. I can say I want to go. I look on Google Earth. Oh, I got to go look at this area, and I know I'm going to find stuff there, and it's there. Simple. So, have a good day. We'll see you.